So friends, let's point out or emphasize the key events that happened over the last week. One of them is the video address of Dr. Unitsky. Then I had a meeting on the 21st of January, and today it's Sunday. We were supposed to have the meeting today, yesterday, but for quite objective reasons, and you will hear those reasons today, we postponed yesterday's meeting to today. And I think you will understand everything when you hear the reason. So friends, regarding the main bullet points, so I'm sure that every one of you present at this meeting today watched Dr. Unitsky's video address to the investors and also attended or watched the recording of my meeting that was held 4 days ago. So what are the main takeaways that you had from those videos, or what are the main points that you think are of paramount importance to the development of string transportation technology? So what are the main messages or bullet points in Dr. Unitsky's video address and of my speech and my of the meeting that I held on the 21st? Okay, I'm ready to read your feedback. Alexander says we need to increase the financing. Someone says the finish line is very close. We need to support the company with money in this critical period. The key here is to provide sufficient and timely financing of the project. Next, we need to help the project to cover operational costs. We need funds to continue working. The year 2026 will be the decisive year for the project. More active funding. We need to support the company with funds. Gulnara says that Dr. Unitsky talked about you, Maxim, and we need to keep funding the company. Boris says we shouldn't stop raising funds for the next important move, which would be commercialization. Only forward, not a single step backwards. Every partner should be more active in investing into the project. I'm just reading out your messages, ladies and gentlemen. We need to continue investing, someone says. Then, let me see. Gulnara says, we need every partner to be more active in investing the project. We need to continue investing. Quite a lot of messages in Spanish language, from Latin America, Spain. So I'm waiting for your messages to be translated. Nadezhda says we need to have support from investors. Darhan says, when the company will start paying dividends? I mentioned it last time. The time of the payment of dividends or remuneration depends on whether we're going to be able to raise enough funds for the company to cover its operational costs. Then all the money coming from the actual projects will generate profits to be shared with investors. Maya says we need to help with our investments to ensure the continuation of the development of the UST technology. Ludmila says, if we do not support the project right now, we might lose everything. Then we need active investments, and then we're going to cross the finish line. And then Victor says, well, the main message is insufficient funding. Then someone says we need to increase our investment portfolio. Then we are almost about to go into the market. Alex says, make a mailing using the database of the partners on RSW Systems so that everyone can invest a certain amount of money per month. Well, Oleg, thank you for the suggestion. We are working on it. Someone says, get to the point. Well, I have things to tell you, both on the point and things that I want to hear from you first as investors and community. Those of you who know me, who have known me for a long time, know that I very much enjoy having feedback and have interactivity. I'm not just a talking head, a person who has to read out his speech and that's it. I want to feel your mood. I want to feel the room, read the room, and I want to know the feedback coming from you. So if you're not enjoying this approach, just watch the recording and fast forward things that you don't want to hear. Alexander says we need to preserve what we've achieved and the project altogether. HP says we are on the verge of huge success. Rodion says when Russia can start investing. I will mention it later. Next. Someone says it's darkest before the dawn. Okay, I agree. Alan says, I've been in the project since 2015 and invest every month without interruptions. I attracted around 48,000 investors from around 180 countries. I can wake them up. Let's start. Well, Alan, that's a very good initiative, and that's what we're doing right now, and that's what we're preparing to kick in the fifth gear. So I will tell you more about it today. Vladislav Skolibok said, I have several friends who would like to participate in fundraising for a targeted project, earmarked project. They are waiting for the proposal and they are eager to invest as much as they can. Well, there are several commercial projects in the pipeline, dozens of them, by the way, and if you saying that you have partners at the strategical level, you can reach out to me. You have my contact details. We are always keeping in touch, and we can offer a strategical investor for the company in the region of presence of the company where the commercial projects cannot move forward because of lack of investors. So yeah, please share your proposal. But at the same time, it is important to not forget about investing into the parent company, the holding. I will read out some of the comments and then we'll go back to our main topic, to the topic of today's discussion meeting. We're just one step away from success. It is time to unite and support each other. Our investor from India wrote, Shiv Shankar Gupta. I'm sorry if I misspelled your name. It is important to support the project right now, the transition period to scaling. Well, I agree. The reason why I was asking for your feedback and read out dozens of comments is that I wanted to understand whether every one of you here, we have 370 plus people, 380 people here. I wanted to see how well each of you understood the message, the key message that was both in Dr. Unitsky's video address and in my meeting that I held last time when commenting on the situation we're in right now. And I'm quite happy that the predominant majority of our partners, investors, are on the same page. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for providing this kind of support. You are aware of the key message, you understood the key message, and now we need to start acting. And by acting in this case, I mean that each and every one of us needs to make a decision in which format they can support the technology, either by investing themselves or attracting new investors. We are all now waiting. We're anticipating and we would like to know how we can get out of the situation that we're in right now. So friends, I would like to remind you about what we're getting ready for right now. and how we take into consideration the interests of all of our audience. First, friends, we are facing the most critical task throughout the entire history of development of string transportation, which is to help the GTI company to survive the period before the company starts implementing dozens of commercial projects. We discussed that right now in here, in January and February this year, we are in the most difficult situation, which is the situation of insufficient funding of the GTI, or the necessity to cover its operational costs. And this period is way more important than the period when we just started this project. It is for a reason that I'm wearing this t-shirt, you see, with the old brand. Remember that we used back in 2014. Here you see the visualizations that were used in 2014, and it is here you can see the website RSW Systems. And since then, we have been investing in the string transportation technology when it was just a picture, an image, 3D rendering, and we had nothing to lose back then. We believed that it would be great. If it's successful, we're gonna be very happy. Well, if it's not successful, at least we tried. Now, those images became a reality. Today, the company's assets include around 16 rolling stock types. We have multiple track infrastructures that are ready for implementation. We have the flagship company, which is the engineering school of Dr. Unitsky. Assets also include a lot of commercial buildings that the company uses for its purposes, starting from the design bureaus to production facilities, machinery, R&D centers in different countries like the Republic of Belarus and on the territory of the United Arab Emirates. We have indeed all of it, and this image became a reality. And we are right now at a moment where, depending on how strongly together we join our efforts and help the company in its critical period, the future of the company will depend on that. Because, as I said during my last meeting, we are facing the risk of losing everything that we've achieved so far, what has been done so far. And I'm sure that hundreds of people that we have here today, almost 400 people, are of the same opinion. Are you, friends, ready to support the company in the most critical period and receive decent reward from the company for that? Give me a plus in the chat if you are of the same opinion. I see quite a lot of smiley faces, a lot of positive feedback. Well, I see now the chat is flooded with pluses. Perfect, friends. Now, someone mentioned my t-shirt, Vladislav C. Yes, we can see the t-shirt. Everything is gonna be fine. We just need to unite our efforts in that noble movement. Okay, friends, yes, now I see we're all on the same page, and I can say with all assurance that most of us are at the right time in the right place. Okay, before I tell you about the solution, the proposal for all of our investors, regardless on which platform you are a client or an investor, a partner, it will be available to everyone who came for the idea of Dr. Unitsky's idea and help it turn into reality. Let me remind you what is in store for us in the next 3-4 weeks. as far as our marketing activities are concerned. Let me remind you one of the most important bullet points. All of our audience, crowd investing community, is split into three categories. I told you about it last time. The first category are investors who just invested into the technology and are waiting for the capitalization. The second category are people, investors, who regularly invest into the string transportation technology, are doing it on a monthly basis, but they do not participate in the referral system. They do not participate in the network marketing. They're just investors, regular investors, continuous investors. And there is a third category of investors who participate in the referral system, who make use of the compensation plan, they build their career, and they turn it into their business. Some people started with Swig back in the days since 2014. Some people built their careers and supported the technology both with their own investments and by building their team on SWC, and some people build their careers on RSW Systems by participating in direct sales, direct selling. So friends, at the start, at the launch of the Micron Global platform, it would be fair to reward all the investors into the string transportation technology with the most beneficial discounts. Guys, if you know something, do not write it in the chat. Dmitry, can I ask you to disable the chat? I don't want to have any spoilers in the chat, because it is very important. So, Dmitry, please disable the chat for now. Okay, friends. So right now, it is very important to understand one critical thing. The string transportation technology over the last 10, well, 11 years was at the stage of technology shaping, formation. It was important to make sure that the technology becomes viable, and we made sure it is viable. Now, the next stage starts this year, 2026, because everything that has been created so far has the potential to scale up in the next 10 years and scale up across the entire planet. I'm talking about the implementation of commercial projects. And that moment is very, very close. Throughout the growth of the GTI company and the growth of the engineering school, the costs and the expenses to keep the staff and to keep the company running have always been also been increasing. And at a certain point, the revenues from the first commercial projects are not compensating for the operational costs. And unfortunately, crowd investing also does not help cover all the costs. And currently, we have an active existing platform, RSW Systems, which is basically now the only instrument that will help us get out of this crisis situation that the company is in. After you see the solution that the company is providing, after you hear it, I will tell you about our development during the next months. So friends, now I would like to ask you to go to your back office. We have a round number of 400 people. So right now, go to your back office and go to the investment section. Let's go do it together. Okay, look, we are in our back office. After that, you go here, invest, and you go into the rebranding section. And take a look, friends, at what you see in here. Discount 700%. 600, which is the minimum discount that will be offered to every investor into the string transportation technology. Well, I will stop sharing my screen, and I would like to read out your first impressions. Lots of people were mentioning discount 600. No, friends. You're gonna have what you've just seen on my screen. I will explain it later, but before that, I would like to read your comments. Francesco Tutino said, I purchased for my family new packages called rebranding. I continuously invite new potential investors. I firmly believe in this technology since 2017, and now, considering this critical situation, I will do it even more actively. Then Evgeny says, I see the discount and then I can die. Someone, OMG, says, Nelka Dimitrova, I guess it's oh my gosh, right? Someone says, I can see it from my phone, show it on your screen, okay. Someone says, I have 600. Are you offering something better? Yelena says, oh wow. Konstantin says, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it. Then Evgenia said, I'm shocked. Maria says, it's nice. Someone says, how much time do we have? I guess I need to go fetch my money. Gulnara says, hooray. Ilya says, oh wow, incredible. And Victor says, I wonder what kind of faces people will have who invested in discount 80 packages. Well, we'll discuss it, don't worry. Redmi says, this is something incredible. I'm gonna invest everything I have. Someone says, Nora says, wow. Then someone says, is that the company so badly put? Well, it's not about the company being badly put. The key factor here is that this money will play a critical role in our future. And someone says, what about the packages that people already bought? Well, I'll tell you about it. Someone says, I'm impressed. Thank you very much. Gulnara says, I'm happy, but it's not available. What do you mean, not available? Someone says, how long it will be on sale? I'll tell you about it. So someone says, it means that just for $100 you get 70,000 pre-IPO shares? Exactly, Elmer. Bishnu says, wow, and lots of different emojis. Angelina says, that's insane. Yes, I was telling you that that's going to be incredible. And Shiv Shankar says, I've never seen a better offer. That's what I told you. Someone says, can people from Russia invest? All investors from all companies that were ever registered or will be registered on RSW system will be able to do that. Someone says, is everything so bad in the company? Because why did I open an installment plan with way smaller discount? Don't worry, I will tell you about those people who already purchased packages with smaller discounts. Someone says, I guess I have to purchase a package. Yes, you will. And someone says, is that going to be available for everyone? Yes, it's going to be available for everyone. Well, we have 400 plus people. Now let me explain everything one by one, and let me give all the clarifications for each item. Well, friends, last meeting I told you, and Dr. Unitsky mentioned it in his address, that his address in 2026 is even more crucial than the one he made in 2014. Here's the deal, dear colleagues. I don't think I need to repeat that at that period of time, we indeed have quite a lot to lose. And in order to preserve what we have, we need to overcome this difficult period, and this difficult period demands radical solutions. And yesterday, I pushed this offer before Unitsky, Dr. Unitsky. I convinced him to give such discounts in this critical period. And many of you, dear colleagues, asked to return the discounts from the past, discount 600, for example. But right now, we are in a situation which is a fate-bearing, fateful situation. And now everything depends on our activity and everything depends on our support. And in this particular point in time, we indeed need to offer things that have never been offered before. And now we're doing that. We have this opportunity. We, better than anyone, know that the GTI group of companies is still at the venture development stage. We still know that the risk of commercial failure of the string transportation technology lies in insufficient funding in its critical moment. And if this risk is there, we can overcome that risk by joining our efforts and making full use of the current discounts on offer. Remember, we're still at the venture stage of the project implementation. And this is the force majeure that happened. And this unforeseen circumstance, the force majeure or majeure, needs to be overcome. So many people, after the Dr. Unitsky's address on the 19th, purchased packages at previous discounts. I already see partners sending messages to me in private. Thank you very much for such an offer. From Germany, someone wrote me. It's plus 49. I think plus 49 is German number. Well, what I wanted to say, many of you on the 19th of January already purchased packages with the discount that was on offer within the rebranding package. So all people who purchased packages on the 19th of January will have their discount recalculated to match the current discount. I think it's going to be fair to those guys, towards those people who activated themselves on the 19th of January, after Dr. Unitsky's speech and after my meeting, those who started acting and immediately supported the company. So those of you who did it from 19th of January and on will have their discount recalculated to match the current discount. So this offer will be available until the 31st of January. After the 31st of January, we will have to reassess the situation. As for the new registrations, right now, before the Micron Global is launched, on RSW Systems, anyone, absolutely anyone can register who would like to invest in UST technology. Those who invested in the technology through other platforms, for example, can now register and invest on RSW Systems. And also, people already registered on RSW Systems can make a purchase. So everyone can do it. Right now, we're not talking about months. Every day counts. Every week counts right now. So, dear friends, right now you have the opportunity to take advantage of this offer before the 31st of January. This is A. B. All of you can now purchase an unlimited number of packages that will be available to you, but not more than 3 times. Let me give you an example. For example, you purchase a package for $1,000. You pay for it within 5 months. Then you will get another opportunity to purchase the same package. You pay it a second time, and then you will be able to purchase it a third time at the same discount. By doing this, in the next 15 months, all old investors will be able to use the same discount and support the company in 2026. I hope this is clear, guys. For example, you purchased 5 packages right now at $1,000. It means you will be able to purchase same 5 packages 3 times, two times more, 3 times in total, at the same discount. This is very important to remember. And this offer is available only on RSW Systems platform. All of the partners who will make use of this exclusive offer proposal, all of you will have it available throughout the entire 2026. I mean, if you purchase the package before the January 31st, then you will be able to purchase the same package 2 more times with the same discount. And it applies to old users and newly registered users. Let me show you that the biggest discount is not even 800, it's 990. Let me show it to you. Let me share my screen. Look, colleagues, within our currently valid offer rebranding, we have a certain logic, remember? To incentivize early closing of your installment plans, full repayment. For example, you take a package for $1,000 with a discount $720. If you pay for it in one go, you are going to get plus 20% on top of that. So 720, let me do the math here. So 720 plus 20% equals 864. The logic is clear. So if you pay for this package in 2 payments, for example, you pay $2,000 of, sorry. For example, if you pay $200, for example, you purchase a package for $1,000. In your first payment, you pay $200, and in the second payment, you pay $800. You close it in 2 months, you get plus 15% and not plus 20. And the overall period is 5 months. And then you can repeat it twice more. So this is intended for partners who will support the company in this critical period while we're still activating and bringing to full speed the Micron Global. So this will be some kind of a safety cushion for the company, because this is what the company's future depends on. I'm talking about the Unitsky String Technologies Incorporated, the engineering company. Now let's go from one package to another. There are different offers. There is a package for 100, it's one-off payment, and there is a rebranding 250, also with the 700 discount, but you have to pay it in one go. Installments start from $500, and this is where you can see the incentive. Plus 20 for paying in one go, and 15% if you pay in 2 payments. And then you see we have rebranding 1,000, 5 months installment, same deal. The biggest discount is $825 in the rebranding package, $10,000. So if our investor pays for this package in one go, then we can do the math, dear colleagues. 825 plus 20%, how much do they get? How many pre-IPO shares they get? It's 9,990,000 pre-IPO shares with a discount 990. It's 9,900,000 pre-IPO shares at discount 990. If you pay it in one go. So, okay, let me read your colleagues. Well, some comments. Some colleagues have a dissonance. Andrei says, interesting marketing move. The closer to the finish, the cheaper the packages. Well, dear colleagues, tell me honestly, did you ever face a critical situation in your life? In business, in personal life, other circumstances, right? Because we are talking about real life, and real life is unpredictable, right? So let's not talk about discounts right now. Let's use our everyday life's example. Maya says, I had a crisis in business. So colleagues, let's be honest. Do we have partners here who experienced crisis situations in their life or business? And what it changed in your life after the crisis situation? Vyacheslav said, I once almost froze to death, but then I woke up. Yelena says, I remember August 1998. It was a really horrible crisis in my country. Alexander says, I had several crisis situations. I understand you fully. I still have nightmares about it. Yes, Yelena, I also had similar crisis in my life as well. Someone says, crisis is opportunities. We just need to hang over. And then, once you overcome the crisis, life usually drastically changes. Indeed, colleagues, after each crisis situation, there is a upgrowth, increase, upheaval. There is a breakthrough forward. Unfortunately or fortunately, we are indeed at a situation when the crisis situation that we're in can push us really hard forward, be our springboard. And it doesn't mean that... So what was the message that Sergey wrote? Let me go back to it. He said, what an interesting marketing move, I quote. The closer to the finish line, the cheaper. Well, look, many companies 5 years ago, when the world was hit by COVID, some of the companies that were 30, 50 years old couldn't survive COVID epidemic and they had to leave the market. They couldn't adapt. Our company was able to survive that period, the global crises. I'm talking about the COVID, the geopolitical crisis that is happening still right now. And those crises could have even smaller effect on our company compared to current insufficient funding. Remember, we used a metaphor of a person who is on the brink of death. And if they don't get CPR or if they don't get the life-saving medicine, they can die. And then you can bring it a minute later, but it will be too late. And that's how it happens in business and in life. And in our case, this is the life-threatening situation with the company. And the company needs that life-saving pill, which is financial support. But also the owner of the technology is being very loyal. It's not about only asking for support and help. No, the owner is ready to offer very generous or make very generous offer, unprecedented offer. And literally yesterday, I came forward before Dr. Unitsky with the initiative that you see in your back office, and Dr. Unitsky agreed with my request, with my initiative, because he understands that that's what the community needs right now, and that's what the community wanted, and the company needs. So it's a win-win, and it's a very wise decision. So let me tell you again about the terms and conditions. So currently, until the launch of the Micron Global platform, the RSW Systems platform will have this offer valid until the 31st of January this year. Anyone can make use of that offer. People who are already RSW Systems users, registered users, and people who will come from other platforms. Doesn't there is no like requirement here to be only an old timer from RSW Systems. You can register right now and you make use of that offer. It's an exclusive offer for both old registered users and newly registered users coming from other platforms, because this is the most critical time and it came, we need to deal with it. There will be no limitations, restrictions related to countries or regions, territories. If you were able to invest before, you will be able to invest it now. You will be able to purchase the same package 2 times more. For example, today, if you purchase 10 packages, it means that you will able to do it 2 times more. So my interpreters wanted to make it clear, and they are correct. So 3 times in total right now, plus 2 more times. It's very important to understand this. A total of 3 times right now before the 31st of January, and then 2 times more. So new investors from Russia can also register right now before the 31st of January and make use of this offer. So Yuri is asking about self-sustainability or break-even point. Yes, this is one of the frequent questions in the list of questions. Very soon, probably next week, there will be an extended interview given by Dr. Unitsky and me, and we will be answering those questions. Dr. Unitsky will give a more detailed explanation and clarification about the company development within the memorandum of strategical development. Dr. Unitsky will give the correct interpretation of the term self-sustainability or self-sufficiency or break-even point, so that we're all on the same page what it means. And then we will also discuss in that interview the role of crowd investing. We're talking about the second crucial stage in the formation of string transportation technology. And in that interview, we will cover all the questions that came from you, dear partners and colleagues. So get ready for that interview. It will be information-packed. It will be published next week, and this information will be very relevant for every UST investor. Now, next moment. The referral program on the RSW Systems will be available until the launch of the Micron Global platform. So right now, when you purchase those investment packages that have the exclusive investment packages, it will still activate, it will still account for the referral system. The referral system will still work. But once the Micron Global platform is launched, there will be no referral system on RSW Systems. However, all previously purchased packages purchased by your downlines will still allow you to earn commission. And then when you purchase the same package a second and third time, see, dear colleagues, just give me a second. My colleague is writing to me here. So, friends, sorry for that. When you make a second or third repeat purchase, there will be no referral commission from that. However, you will still have the referral program in the form of pre-IPO shares, just not cash. In other words, if the partners make a repeat purchase of the same package a second and third time on RSW Systems, their uplines will be receiving their reward not in cash, but in pre-IPO shares. Okay? So, colleagues, how do you like this kind of proposal? Great. Someone says it's even better, pre-IPO shares. Someone says, yes, with such a discount, that's incredible. 100 plus plus plus. Okay, great idea, justified decision. I'm ready to forego referral payments altogether. Just give me shares. And someone says again, plus plus plus. Well, it's unanimous. I see that this decision is the most optimal, I guess. And someone says, it is so great. What else can I add here? Okay. I see a lot of positive feedback from you. Super, someone says, exclamation mark. So here's the thing, dear colleagues. One more thing. Why such a decision was made? So right now, it is important for us to understand the logic that we are using to move forward. We are the investors who came at this stage when it was still images on t-shirts and paper. So yes, those are investors who came before February 2026. And now we are the people who believed in the technology and believed in its technology, author, and result, and now, as a reward, we are getting this exclusive offer, and we will make use of that offer. After that, the new stage in the development of crowd investing will take place. This is important, because that next stage is closely connected to the new stage of development of the string transportation technology, because at that stage, the technology will move to the commercialization stage. And it is important that new people start investing in the technology who do not yet know about all the exclusive offers that you can enjoy. So right now, we have 422 people present at this meeting. Just as an experiment, go outside and ask 10 people that you meet outside whether they know anything about the UST technology and the investment opportunities related to that technology. And I'm sure out of 10 people, not a single one will know about it. So when you start your business on Micron Global and start working with new people and start inviting them and offer them to become investors, and will show them all the achievements of the company. You'll show them that the company has hundreds of projects in the pipeline at different stages. New investors will see that they won't have to wait long until the capitalization, probably 2, 3, 5 years tops, well, depending on how the events development will go. But it's definitely not 10, 11 years that we've been waiting for the capitalization. And those new investors will understand that their risks are way lower, and the investment proposal that they are offered is very beneficial, very lucrative, because on the Micron Global, the discounts will be around 100. But I'll tell you more about the launch of the platform. So what I'm driving at here, we are now splitting the investors who came before February 2026 and investors who will come after February 2026, hundreds of thousands of people who will come in the next year or two. And those people will be investing according to the new rules, new discounts. And we are not really infringing upon anyone's interests, because you, first of all, not only help the company, but also yourselves. You're increasing your portfolio. And we get the chance to preserve what we've worked so hard for. And again, you are increasing your portfolio several times over, because the discounts that you're seeing right now haven't been offered in quite a while. I think it's the first time ever. So we are now given a chance to preserve what we've achieved so far. B, we're increasing our investment portfolio, and C, we're giving life support to the company to move forward. And when we solve this problem, and I'm absolutely sure that we are going to solve this problem, because we have almost 500 people here live, and there will be more people watching this meeting as a recording who are not indifferent to the fate of the company and their own investments. Well, even now, every single one of you has in their team structure dozens, hundreds, and thousands of people. You can, for example, pick up a phone tomorrow or today even, because we have Latin America here. You share this meeting with them. You share Dr. Unitsky's address and show them how to get to their back office and tell them about the opportunity. And by doing this, friends, we can help turn the tide. We can help make history for the technological development of the GTI company. This is our paramount task. We have no time to wait until Micron Global is launched, until Micron Global is working at full speed, because it will take at least 2 weeks until we're at full speed, and we don't have that time. We need to work with what we have, and what we have is the RSW Systems platform, the platform with what everything started in the beginning, and this is the tool that can help us solve this task. So, friends, someone can be skeptic about it, have their doubts, but everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But there are facts that you cannot deny. Well, you can argue against them or not, but facts are indisputable. The company has proven the viability of its technology. It's a fact. It's a given fact. There is no two opinions about it. However, there is a situation we're in right now because some of our partners have dropped out, fundraising partners. And we found ourselves in this situation. But we have you, dear investors, who can influence the situation. It's like, when, for example, you've built a bridge, but that bridge needs just one more span, okay? So cars are ready, or overpass. Cars are ready to move in one direction and are ready to move into the other direction. And we need just to add that one more span or one more support. And without it, the bridge or the overpass is not functionable, is not usable. I saw a comment that kind of made me laugh a little bit. Okay, go back to the bridge analogy, metaphor. So either that bridge is up and running, or it will not run at all. And this is the kind of situation we're in right now. Someone was asking, friends, what can be the interval between the packages? For example, you finished paying for your first package. How much time do I have to purchase the same package a second time? Well, it's 1 month. So after you finished paying for your first package, you will have a month to activate the second purchase. And then 1 more month after the payment for the second package, you can pay for the third package. So at least not more than 1 month in between packages. As for discount 600, those of you who have discount 600, you have a huge privilege because you will enjoy that discount throughout the entire fundraising period, which is going to take some time, because we still have more than 70 billion pre-IPO shares to sell. Current discount promotion is solving different tasks. Yes, probably 1 billion or 2 billion shares will be sold during that rebranding, promotion, depending on your activity. However, that discount 700 plus can only be used 3 times, and that's it. And those of you who have discount 600 already made use of that discount in the past, and you will still be able to make use of that discount in the future until the fundraising is closed. You see? For example, let's take the situation with the stock market and the companies that have been in the economic stability for quite some time. And then a piece of news is published that a component manufacturer stopped producing their components or they are experiencing difficulties. For example, Apple company or some other company that use the components of that component manufacturer. Also, what happens to their shares? For example, of Apple, if news came out that they cannot use the components of another company, or like car manufacturing companies. I remember there was news about chips not being produced anymore. What happened to the shares of those companies? Did they go up, or it was a huge collapse in the market? Of course, there was a huge collapse in the market because of the external factors. And we are in a similar situation. And for us, the indicator of a certain stability of the company is stable or continuous funding of the company. So right now, we're in a critical situation. That's why the company is offering extraordinary discounts, extraordinary solution, extraordinary proposal offer. That's why the company is making such an exclusive offer and has come forward with such an exclusive proposal. So there is nothing like bad that in the past you used discount 100 and now you can make use of discount 700. See what's the average. You can average out your discount. So it will be what, 400, right? And it's venture market, and it's a common thing for a venture market. There is nothing extraordinary here except the proposal itself, obviously. So I wanted to remind you what it all started with. From visualizations, from renders, how we imagined this technology in the past and how together we were able to create what we have today. And I'm sure by joining our forces, we will be able to do even more. I wanted to show you one video that was published recently on the Admix Reality YouTube channel, and it was created using this instrument, and it shows very well where we started, what we have now, and what is in store for us in the future. And I strongly recommend you watch that video very attentively and then give the feedback about it and what kind of emotions it causes in you. And then we'll continue and call it a day.
Lights begin. The code runs clean. Machines awake, but nothing's seen. A measured breath, a silent cue. We start again. obey, repeat again. The system speaks, we understand. We can do it, that's enough. We can do it, hard and rough. We can do it, under rule. We can do it, keep it cool. The glass reflects, the wires hum, a sterile faith in what's to come. Hands aligned, no need to feel. Control becomes the new idea. Command received, delay, decline. We leave no trace, we stay confined. We can do it, we comply. We can do it, we don't try. We can do it, in the grave. We can do it, night and day. Motion pure, no cause, no sin. Progress carved in discipline. Silence builds, the world resets. We do what the system expects. We can do it, we remain. We can do it, all the same. We can do it, final tone. We can do it, on our
I want to tell you that this video, this material that was created by Dmitry Slusar, I wanted to thank him. This video shows very well that it shows that it all started with 3D rendering, with visualizations. It was just imagination, blueprints. Now, on this video, you can see how it all turned into reality, how imagination turned into reality. And then the video goes one step more forward. It shows us that what in store for us is the commercialization, implementation of multiple commercial projects. So thank you very much, Dmitry, for that. And I see quite a lot of excitement and feedback, good feedback in the chat. And the lyrics of the song, "We can do it," right? It's like an affirmation. So, dear investors, partners, like-minded people, supporters of Dr. Unitsky, if we were able to do it 10 years ago, when we only had pictures and blueprints and our imagination, and that's what the whole process started with. It was just images. Now it is brick and mortar. It's physical reality, and we have to thank ourselves for this. And if we were able to do it one time in the past, we definitely can do it in the most critical period, break point, when the company needs us most. And then we will be able to do it a second and a third time as well. But we need to do it right now. And Nasser said, yes, we can do it, exclamation marks. Yes, it's our call to action. This is what needs to be our slogan, our motto in the year 2026, both in January 2026, in February 2026, and then also when the Micron Global platform is launched. From small to great to big, we can do it. We already did it in the past. Now let's do it again. Because depending on how active we are, how conscientious, aware we are of the need to protect our investments, our future will be shaped. This is what our future depends on. So Svetlana says, string transportation will and shall exist. Yes, it already exists. We just need to keep it going, to help it develop. I would like to go back to this video to just support my words with actual images. I will go just through some of the shots here. So this is how it was visualized in the past, right? This was the 3D renders of how string transportation is going to work. This is how the technology was supposed to work, right, in our imagination. And then you see in this part the physical reality, how blueprints were turned into actual rolling stock. This is karat that can speed up to 120 kilometers per hour and more. And for this to work, for this to continue existing and develop, we need to solve the current task ahead of us. And we have a wonderful proposal, discount 700 plus, that will help us with that. And with that discount, we can make sure that the technology exists and survives. And this is the second commercial project, which is already at the construction stage. This is a project in the resort area called Sosny in Belarus. This is the first project from an external client. I'm talking about the Presidential Administration Office. And there will be a separate video about it. And this is how the string transportation network can look like. And again, as in the past, at first it was just pictures and blueprints, and now you can see the projects that will be implemented in 2026 and in the future. And Dr. Unitsky here in the closing scenes is not placed there by chance. This shows us that this was possible thanks to our support, our investments. And now it is very important to point out that we have the future of the technology at stake, our returns on our investments at stake. But in Dr. Unitsky's case, it's 50 years of his life and work that is on stake. Now we need to finish that marathon, prove our support, extend our helping hand through crowd investing. And this is why our platform is going to be called Micron Global, from small to big, where all possibly small particles, but in a global scale project, probably the most crucial project in the human history, which is just 10 years old. And from February 2026, March 2026, well, let's say early 2026, is the new stage in the evolution of the string transportation technology. We're talking about commercialization, and crowd investing will play a key role in it, because we are the fuel that will help the plane take off. We are all right now at a stage where the plane is ready for takeoff. Well, the plane is assembled, all the components are in place, aerodynamics has been tested, the flight plan has been agreed upon, and now the plane needs to take off and gain new heights. And in order to gain those new heights, we need to make sure that the plane has enough fuel, and our crowd investing efforts are exactly that fuel that the plane needs, especially taking into account this unprecedented offer that we see right now. Well, those offers were given to investors back in 2014, but now, right now, without any doubt, shred of a doubt, this is a very exclusive, unprecedented offer. And this is a win-win for both the company and us, because the company needs urgently to address the current situation, and we get very lucrative proposals, offers that we won't have in the future, for sure. So, friends, let me summarize the information about the packages with discounts 700 plus, and then questions that you're asking right now and asked before, they all will be covered and answered in the joint interview from me and Dr. Unitsky, because some of the questions should be answered by Dr. Unitsky himself as the author of the string transportation technology and as the main investor, majority investor in GTI, but there are also questions related to the marketing activity that I will cover in that interview. So let's wait for that interview, dear friends. It will be published next week, and in the aftermath of that interview next Sunday, I will be talking about the launch of the scheduled launch of the Micron Global. So let me summarize the key messages. Because of the situation we are right now in, we are given the opportunity to invest in the technology at unprecedented discounts, starting from 700 plus, from $100 to $10,000. So those packages will be available in installments starting from $500 with 5 months installment. So currently, you can purchase an unlimited number of packages. Let's say three packages at $1,000, 5 packages at like $5,000. Doesn't matter. And then you will be able to repeat that same purchase 2 more times with a total of 3 purchases. For example, you purchase a package, and then you will be, once you finish paying for that package, you will have 1 month to reactivate that same package. For example, you finish your 5 months installment plan, within a month you activate it again, then in 5 months you have 1 month to activate it a 3rd time, and that's it. So those of you who will use that proposal, take advantage of that proposal until the 31st of January, you will be able to continue making use of that proposal until the end of the year. If you early close your installment, or for example in one go, you will get 20% more on your allocated number of shares. If you pay for the packages in 2 payments, you will get 15%. In 3 payments, 10% on top. If you're paying in equal parts over 5 months, you will get the original discount.
На платформе Micron Global до действия этой акции и до запуска в целом регистрироваться на, извините, на
anyone can register on RSW Systems until the launch of the Micron Global platform. So old investors and newly registered investors can make use of that platform. Someone is asking for a 10 months installment plan. Well, we can do that because this is an exclusive 5 months offer, because the 5 months period is up to everyone's capabilities. So you can make a total of 3 purchases of the same package, and it means at least 15 months, right? So the lowest package is $100, then $500, $250, $500. $500 is when you can purchase a package in installments. So $500 means $100 per month, right? Please repeat about the referral commission for those who purchased before 2026. Well, those who will purchase those packages before the launch of the Micron Global platform, well, better scratch that. If you purchase this package on RSW Systems, then you will be receiving commission under the referral program for the packages that will be purchased before the launch of the platform. When people will activate the same package a second and third time, their uplines will not be receiving cash rewards, cash commission. They will be receiving rewards in the form of pre-IPO shares. In other words, you will be receiving the equivalent commission in pre-IPO shares. So instead of cash, you will have your portfolio increased by the equivalent number of pre-IPO shares. I hope that's clear. So I think it's quite a fair decision. What about those who have discount 600 already? Can they use that rebranding offer? Yes, of course you can. You will be still able to use discount 600 plus the new discount. There are no limitations here. So what if I purchase several packages at the same time? How much time I'm gonna have to open a second and third package? Also 1 month. Well, look, until this offer is available, you can purchase it as many times as you want, as many packages as you want. And when it's over, then you can repeat any package that you purchased from now till the 31st of January. 2 more times. For example, you purchase today, then you purchase another package in 2 days, and then one more on the 31st of January. All those 3 packages, or for example, a total of 20 packages, can be then purchased 2 times more. So you have like a window from now to the 31st of January, and any purchase you make can be repeated 2 more times.
На открытие новых дается месяц, я говорил. На открытие новых дается месяц. Например, вот закончилась акция. Вы выплатили,
for example,
5 месяцев, да? И у вас после 5-го месяца, после последнего платежа,
you opened an installment plan. It took you 5 months to close it. And then you will have 1 month to activate it again. That's it. Only RSW Systems is offering this opportunity.
теперь время действовать. We can do it. Я уверен, что мы сможем это сделать вместе.
Okay, friends, at the end of our meeting, I would like to again show you this video because, in my opinion, it's giving you a clear understanding at what stage we are right now before the scaling up of the UST technology. So, dear friends and partners, I would like to wish all of you to make the right decision right now, start acting, and to show your active support, and not only to use it yourself, but also share that information with everyone you know, with people from your team, from your acquaintances, friends, team colleagues, work colleagues. Just pick up your phone and see who might be interested in this proposal.
Друзья, смотрим видео и действуем.
Okay, so make action, take action, dear friends. I'm very thankful for your attendance, for your activity, and let's together implement the technology for which we all came here, the UST technology. So we're gonna have the next meeting on Sunday, which is probably going to be the 1st of February. So February the 1st, we're going to meet and we're going to launch the Micron Global platform. We will tell you when we're going to launch the Micron Global platform. And then, in the meanwhile, let's wait for the publishing of the interview from me and Dr. Unitsky, where we're going to answer all of the questions that you asked throughout the past period. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for not being indifferent to our cause. We also are responsible for it. So all eyes on the screens, dear friends, and see you in 1 week.
Lights begin. The code runs clean. Machines awake, but nothing's seen. A measured breath, a silent cue. We start again. We do. Repeat, obey, repeat again. The system speaks, we understand. We can do it. That's enough. We can do it. Hard and rough. We can do it under rule. We can do it. Keep it cool. we stay confined. We can do it. We comply. We can do it. We don't try. We can do it. In the grave. We can do it. Night and day. Motion pure, no cause, no sin. Progress carved in discipline. Silence builds, the world resets. We do what the system expects. We can do it.